Well, it's Friday and it's super humid outside. So definitely taken the right idea here to get the bus up there. Really wimped out. I've also got really sore feet. I know what it is. It's actually a side effect from these pills I've been taking. So I ditched them. I was supposed to take them twice a day. Didn't take it this morning, so it's the first time I've actually done that. Haven't followed through with the doctor's prescription, but I've got a fair idea that they won't be too upset about it. It's just one of those things. I also got pretty bad nausea, and that's horrible. You want to live with that for any length of time. I mentioned to my cousin who's a nurse, and she said, yeah, it's pretty bad. Drags you right down, so unacceptable side effects. And of course, side effects is another big thing with these. With the vaccine, or as Sanity for Sweden, the guy from Sanity for Stefan, calls it Vaseline, so he doesn't get hammered by YouTube. I've actually found that my YouTube figures have actually improved again. They're not brilliant, but at one stage it looked like they were really suppressing it, but now it doesn't seem quite as bad, so who knows. I mean, you'd have to be a software engineer to understand all that crap, and a mathematician to boot, probably. Anyway, I'm going to this little bus stop which usually services the school, which is obviously shut because it's school holidays, so hopefully the bus won't take long. Thank God for buses. There's no breeze today, that's one of the problems. Great for shooting footage, but bloody hot, and it's only going to get worse. Got to survive another half of summer, probably realistically to about halfway through March. Actually tried freezing some mixed greens and they froze up okay, but when I actually defrosted them, only after about 3 days, mind you, they were just all sort of liquefied. And I remember someone who advised me you can freeze them. She also put paper in there. Obviously that's the idea of the paper, is to absorb that moisture. So that's something you have to do if you want to do it that way. I think I'll just basically try to get through the greens as quickly as I can and avoid the whole process of freezing. The big meal I made, the slow cooked meal, seems to be fine after it froze. I expected that. Although it wasn't as tasty as what it was originally. That may be because I've had a few serves of it, or it could be just us losing a bit of oomph. But I'll tell you what, things are hotting up in the US, and you know, my talk of things like the Civil War don't seem so far-fetched these days. I'm not the only one saying it, plenty of people are saying it online, and I really think that we're getting very close to that point. What I think will happen in the US, so I think it'll actually divide into 2 countries. The southeast, the Sun Belt states, will form their own country, and then there'll be the rest of it will be the US. Well, Alaska would probably still be part of it, so that'll be interesting. So it'll be a bloody patchwork if it occurs. But it'll probably be a good thing, because New York and California are basket cases, and I think the rest of America at the moment would be better off without them. So they're not the only offenders, mind you. I think Michigan's doing pretty poorly too. Yeah, the big cities are just not doing that well and as attractive to people. People are leaving big cities, high tax states, and they're going elsewhere. What I was just a bit dismayed was I had someone who worked for Trump who was having a go at all the protesters yesterday, and I'm thinking, well, the protesters are doing what they're doing because they're frustrated as hell, because no one seems to be listening to them. They can't trust the electoral system. It's a huge problem in a democracy. Anyway, we're going to go to the supermarket now. Oh, it's so cool, it's beautiful. Well, looks like the rain's going to about start to fall, so good timing, I guess. It's been looking threatening a bit today, so not as bad as in the past, but bad enough. Yeah, when I was in Woolworths, one of the people came out from the storeroom, almost ran me over, one of those big trolleys they push around. She said, "Oh, I almost killed you," and she almost did. Thanks for telling me that. If I was had my wits about me, I would have said it would have been a mercy killing. It's still got those sore feet. It doesn't feel as bad here. It was feeling stinking hot in the centre of the city though. A little bit of a breeze. It was quite still when I first got out of the flat today. And in Cairns, that's a total killer because you need the breeze to cool down things. Especially the way I'm feeling. My resilience ain't exactly brilliant at the moment. So anyway, and like BWS went in there, and it's just the prices of the alcohol so overpriced, it really is bad. They don't seem to even want to compete with Liquorland or First Choice, but unfortunately First Choice was 2 blocks away, and normally I wouldn't have worried about walking there to get the cheaper grog. Today, no, it's just so oppressive. At least it was just before. I've got a slight drizzle here, so I might get a bit of moisture on the lens. Not sure, we'll see how it goes. It took forever to get through checkout too. There were 2 people working there. One was sort of doing some stacking behind, but she didn't have the wherewithal to figure out we had a couple of customers there. We should maybe change tasks. It's a bit annoying when they lack that flexibility, but there's some people need to have bosses to tell them how to act appropriately, I guess. You got caught at the lights here too. It's taking a long time to get across. Don't usually have to wait this long. Hopefully we'll see a green pedestrian light fairly soon. That'd be nice. Oh dear. Yeah, I've got, call me a pessimist, but I really have my doubts about whether America can hold it together. It's a very divided country. Huge schism there between the west coast, the northeast, and the rest of the country. Mind you, they want to be fairly careful because a lot of the Republican states produce food, and if they don't have access to the food, it gets really nasty. And it's like, you know, much worse than the Civil War, that people just put up barriers and they don't talk to one another. Then they might be without a source of food for a lot of the people in the industrial parts of, well, what were the industrial parts of the country. I think they're going to ruin, and it's just the Rust Belt. Now it's very sad seeing once proud cities just turn to crap. I suppose the most extreme example of that is Detroit. That happened years ago when the motor industry died. And mind you, General Motors and Ford don't seem to have learnt many lessons. I think Tesla's going to wipe the floor with them in the next few years, and they've got a hope in hell of surviving once electric cars can compete on a cost basis with ICE cars, internal combustion engines. Both Ford and GM will be basically history. And by the way, apparently, according to the media, which I don't trust, but anyway, these figures are always wonky, but apparently Elon Musk is now the richest man on earth. He's just about $1 million, I think, or maybe it's a billion. I think he's 1 billion ahead of Jeff Bezos, his arch rival. So that's good news, I guess. Not for me, because I was thinking about investing in Tesla last year, and it would have been a smart move. Ah well, that would have given me a deposit, plenty of money to buy a house up at the beaches. Wouldn't have had any hassles if I'd done the right thing and just bought something like 20 grand's worth. It'd probably be worth in excess of 100 now, easily. Well, you live and learn. You know, all these opportunities I talk about, I actually do think them through too. It's not like I'm just pull this out of thin air in retrospect. But the thing about investing is you've got to make a decision. You've got to actually act. If you just think about it, well, that's not going to do your bottom line any good. Mind you, I've thought about a few things that were bad decisions and haven't made them, so it does equal itself out a bit. But I still wouldn't mind a big killing on the stock market. That'd be nice. Please consider subscribing to my channel if you think there's anything there of use to you, or entertainment or whatever. And either do that or give me a thumbs up, or if you're feeling really energetic, do both. That'd be great.